Before crossing into Poland, Joanne never actually thought she'd be able to leave Ukraine.
She doesn't need a whole lot to look beautiful, She already looked beautiful.
That's because she's a trans woman who was in the beginning stages of legally changing her gender marker before the war started. And she had only been able to update her birth certificate.
I had a problem because I was taught that birth certificate is not enough to cross the border. You need an ID, which I don't have. So my concerns was that, I will be rejected at the border.
Though she was eventually able to cross, many other members of the trans community have not been as lucky.
You need to have the documents. If you have the documents, everything is great. If you don't, everything is bad.
Many of the trans women trying to flee Ukraine are being stopped by a ban on military-aged men from leaving the country. And while LGBTQ+ activists in Ukraine have made strides over the past couple of years, there are still many barriers for trans people. For example, people still need an outpatient psychiatric examination to change their gender markers, which can lead to inpatient hospitalization, meaning there are still many trans women with male markers on their IDs.
The situation is very hard because the LGBT community was feeling marginalized and discriminated against before the war already. Many people say that when they attempt to cross the border police and the border guard are making their decision based on the gender marker in the passport. And we consider this as another example of lawful transphobia.
According to Igor, a few people without updated documents were able to leave in the first few days of the war. But the situation has since become almost impossible, though people are still going to extreme lengths to do so.
There are 2 trans organizations in Ukraine, and we are both advising people to not lose their documents and to not use these illegal methods, such as bribing and things like this, because people are just getting caught and jailed. It absolutely makes the situation worse, because if your documents are put in the database as lost, it will just create further problems for you.
Instead, she recommended people move to the western parts of the country to wait out the fighting. And her organization is providing hormones for ongoing treatment for people not on the front lines, while other activists are calling for a humanitarian corridor to help get members of the trans community out of the country.